What's up, people? And of course, I forgot to pop out the chat. It's not here, which is here. Do you guys hear me? Do you hear the music? Tokyo, wow. Is the music too loud? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna throw you there in full screen like that. And we need to go and fix the dog. Man, this live stream thing is so weird. Like you don't stream for like a week and then you forget how this whole thing works. Let's hope that it's like riding a bike. All right, so I am not going to stream the entire week as I did the last time, like a freaking maniac. What do we want? So I'm gonna try to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's also not forever. It's just like you know, until we finish this thing, because I want to finish this thing and actually see if it compiles faster or not. Right, so while it updates, we can also go to here and just like do like that. There we go. Let's try to remember where we left off. I remember that we still need to do like the Redis part of this first use case that we migrated. For those of you who are not aware, we are rewriting the shopping cart application by Gabriel Volpe from the awesome book Practical Functional Programming in Scala. And we grabbed, in fact, we have a dependency graph over here, so I can just preview it. I found a way to rotate it by 90 degrees, and that's actually if you go like this, right, like in the end, like all you need to do is you need to do -g, which means that we're specifying a graph argument as opposed to like, I don't know, node argument or edge argument, and it's going to be a rank direction or rank directory, probably direction, and then this stands for bottom to top. All right, and since I did it like this, right, now it's generated like that. And so it kind of looks smaller, but at least it's not like on the side anymore, right? So this is like the old one. I renamed it to Big Bowl of Mud, and we took like one use case and we like put it into core. We have a bunch of these things that depend on core. We also have a cats effect util, which is currently empty, and the only reason we introduced it, I believe, is because this guy over here had a dependency on cats effect and this one as well. But it's empty, and therefore it doesn't affect compilation as long as it's empty, right? Let me actually check how many of you guys are here, because I didn't announce this, so sometimes takes some time to update. All right, so we went from 1 to 0. Not a big deal. So I don't even remember how that thing was called that we were working on. So let's go into core and look it up over here. And so I believe it's, yeah, okay. So this is our namespace, our bounded context, which is Shopee users auth. And we have our boundary. So we have like new user login, log out. And all it needs is a gate, which is over here. And the gate requires a bunch of things, which is this. And we still need to figure out how to implement Redis. Okay, so this is the only one that is left. Because once we're assembling this, which is over here, right, we have this to do. All right, so let's actually go back real quick and see what's on that Redis interface. Okay, so we should be able to like set the user in Redis and set the user as password in Redis. Oh yeah, now I remember there was like an overload kind of thing. Get token from Redis and delete user in Redis. And if you've been around at the time when we introduced this, we said that it's not a big deal to actually encode the fact that our dependency is going to be called Redis in core, because this whole argument of you know, we can replace it one day and you know, and everything is gonna like magically compile. I don't believe in this argument anyway, so we might as well be a little bit truthful. So all abstractions are leaky, so it's not a big deal. And once we do replace it with something like Redis, if we were to do so, whatever, it's search and replace, not a big deal. Creates a huge diff, but whatever. It can be getting ignored. All right, so let's go and find how it was done over here, because I remember that we would need to have a dependency on Circe, which we're going to remove at some point. Okay, this is not okay. There's some common stuff. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, now I remember. Okay, so this is what the original code was doing, right? So it was calling like this set thingy, which is like a setter with an expiration, which is defined in setter. And I actually really don't like the fact that Metals changed it recently, that we cannot see where we are right now, right? So I know it's setter, and if I go to the top, I will see, okay, so we're in def pro functor Redis for, okay, so now I know we're in Redis for cats, but I had to like scroll up, okay? So, and it's basically a key value and expires in, okay? And over here, we did like an SJSON, and then like no spaces to just get a string out of this JSON. And like the way we did this is that in our Redis interface, which is over here, we said, let's not do this. Let's just keep it like a little bit stronger typed. You know, we're going to give it a user, and then our implementation is going to do like this, like as JSON and then to string. But at least as of right now, this means that our Redis is going to have a dependency on Circe, which is not ideal, but for now we're going to live with it. Okay, so let's go and start hacking on this thing, assuming that it compiles, right? It compiles, right? Cascade compile, blah, blah, blah. Let's also ask SBT, just in case. I don't know if it's just me, but I keep making the music quieter on my end all the time. It's only getting quieter for me, but not for you. So let me know if it's too loud. Maybe it's this playlist, or maybe, I don't know, I'm more sensitive today than usual. Are you guys here? I really need to figure out a way to see how many of you are here. Because I'm a bit limited with my screens. All right. So it compiles. Cool. So we can sort of like forget about it. All right, so let's see. Core, cats fact util, and delivery HTTP4S, and persistence DB Postgres skunk. Okay, I remember now how we used to do this. Yeah, it's a bit too loud. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so hold up. Look, it's already at like 5%. Let's do like 2. How about now? Well, the song finished anyway. Okay, so yeah, so let's grab like this one. And were we sorting things alphabetically? I don't remember. I think we weren't. CO, CR, yeah, we weren't. Well, maybe we were. Anyhow, let's put it like somewhere here. No, I don't want it. Okay, so this one is just going to be called Redis. And, well, technically Redis is a cache, so maybe we can call it something like cache Redis. And the library that we're using is Redis for cats, I believe, right? Redis for, no? How's it called? I need to find the core. No. There you go. Well, okay, I need to find the ball. Okay, so naming things is hard. Okay, so yeah, so it's Redis for cat. Oh, Redis was 1D. Obviously. Okay, so it's like this, Redis for cats. Yeah, I like this name. So we're gonna grab this, and we're gonna go like that. Cache Redis and the library is Redis for cats. All right, so now we're gonna like throw this out, and we're gonna go to our ball of mod, which is like over here, same as we always do. We're just gonna go grab all of that stuff, go back, there we go. So we're just gonna like paste it over here, and let's see. All right, so we don't need this. We will need Cersei. Hi. So we will need the parser. Yeah, maybe, because we will get it from, well, whatever. Let's just leave everything that says Cersei here. Okay. Cyrus, there, HTTP, JavaX, blah blah blah. Okay, so obviously none of that stuff. So obviously we need Redis and probably like this, like a couple of those Cersei ones we're probably not gonna need. So yeah. Now let me ask SBT what SBT thinks. Okay, modified blah blah blah. So there should be a new one in just a second over here. Obviously not over there because we call it cache. Okay. Yeah. Should we sort it in the build file? Probably should. Right. So cache should be like the first one. Okay. So config persistence. Okay, this one is delivery. Okay. So it should be like here. And then the config. Okay. Like this. It doesn't make any difference for SBT. Okay, something is wrong. Like it should. Okay. No, it's just me being tired. Okay, cryptography. This one. And we go it up like that. And then persistence. Yep. And then the tokens. All right, cool. Import build. So, how are you guys doing while we are importing the build and not doing anything? Like these things are usually when I go and check my phone. How many of you guys are here? Couple. That's good. Don't forget to hit the like button. Maybe YouTube will recommend this live stream to somebody. What can we do while we're importing the build? Well, it finished. Great. So now we can open something like, I don't know, config, for example. So we see our namespace, which is Shopee users auth. So we go to cache and we go like this, new file. Where's it? Okay, so source means Scala dev inside you, Shopee users authentication. And well, it's gonna be just Redis implementation.scala. All right, so it's like this, like that, and this is gonna be an object. Redis implementation.scala. Well, not .scala. I feel like I should have mentioned that I'm super tired. Okay, F. And for now, we're not gonna need anything. We're gonna produce a Redis of F. And it's going to be a new Redis of F like this. Whoa. Like that. And no, we don't need these guys. There we go. All right. So it looks like metals helped a lot. All right. By the way, I enabled the GitHub Copilot. I have a video about it. You might want to check it out. Because currently at work I'm working on some stuff that I've never worked with, so I was hoping that it would help, but it's actually not that helpful. I'll disable it if it starts bothering me. Okay, so we have Cersei here, and therefore we can go over here and we need to grab one of them. I don't remember which one. Let's just grab both of them. Okay, so I'm just gonna like paste them over here. Okay. So token.value user is JSON token expiration. Okay. So is this one, like this is the first one. Okay, so we just need to call set ex on something like Redis, right? So over here, I don't remember if did he Redis commands of f of string. So this is directly from, yeah. So we're gonna do like the same thing. It's gonna grab this thing, put it over there, like that, not like that, not like that, like that. Okay, so now we have this actual Redis thing, and we can pretty much just grab it, paste it over here like this, remove that, and delete to R like this. And okay, so this is gonna be like expires in, and oh, that's interesting. We actually might not be able to do like this as JSON thing, which is fine. Let's just like do this for now. Like the only error that I want to see is that it cannot find like the token and stuff. Probably this one. Okay. Not found value T. Okay, so that's obviously token. You guys are useless. You were supposed to help me out. This is supposed to be a pair programming session. Anyhow, could not find a parameter incorrectly. Okay, so the thing is that over here, because everything was like in this one ball of mud, whenever we had something like a user, we would have like this derived decoder encoder, and I didn't bother to find out how to. Is this the issue that we had last time? I know we had the Cyrus issue. Okay, so we're just pretty much gonna do. I need to look up how to do these derivations with Circe and Magnolia, because like what we did in the config thing, if you guys remember, over here, like I couldn't figure out how to like do these things without the macro annotation, and so I just ended up like creating like these silly case classes that were just like wrappers, and we can do this as well, but it's starting to bother me that I don't know how to do this from the top of my head. So let's get it to compile first, and then we'll see in which mood I am, and then we'll see. Okay, so we're just gonna go grab this thing, put it over here, and this is now going to be a user which has ID and name. Well, actually, we might as well like grab this one like this. Okay, so it's private now, and this is gone, and we need encoder. Do we need show? No, for now we don't need show. So it's just gonna be like this, okay? And so as soon as this thing compiles, and I forgot what we need to make this thing compile. So I'm just gonna steal everything that smells like Derival and just like throw it in here, like there's no tomorrow. Object source is not a member of package Derival. Does this mean that we forgot to include it? Yeah, we forgot to include it. That's annoying. Okay, so Derival. Come on. Oh, there you go. It's exactly this one. Where were we? We were somewhere like here. Like that. Let's also sort these guys. Hold on. No, this is not where we were. I just looked over here and it looked like this is where the change was, but because we also rearranged a bunch of stuff, it looks different. So it's like here. Okay. So source it, and so we have other Derival stuff in core, right? We just need Derival Circe. Yes, please import it. Okay, so this should be enough, like almost enough, right? So we'll basically just wrap user in into that other user. It's probably I wonder how we did this in the config, because now we have like this user conflicting with that one. How do we do this in the config? Over here. We did not have those names in scope, so we kind of got lucky. Okay. Yeah, like this is exactly like sort of like the problem with this. Null pointer exception, great. Not found new type. Anyway, we'll fix this name conflict in just a second. Where was I? I wanted to jump into user and I wanted to grab this new type. There we go. Actually, can Metals import this? It can. Nice. Okay. Not found config encoder. Really? Oh, why did I say config encoder? It should be something like Cersei, right? It should be just decoder encoder. Okay. So we need just the must have exactly one. Oh yeah, it's not a new type. Like why would it be a new type? Could not find encoder type class for user ID and parameter ID product blah blah blah. Oh man, so this means that we need some import that I forgot about. Like how user ID, yeah, so there's an encoder for user ID as well. Okay, so this is problematic now, because this means that now I pretty much need to remember it, because I don't want to like do like another nested case class. Annoying. Okay, first let's find our user ID. Right, so here, like this is our user ID and it's at the very top, and there's just like no Cersei in there. So I need to find like, man, that's gonna take forever. Do you guys know how to do this? Do you know how to work with Magnolia and also how to work with Derivo together with Magnolia? I really don't want to like derail this into like that thing. So, oh man. Okay, so for now I'm just gonna like steal this thing again. Like first I want to let's finish like the absolute like hacky way, which is like this. Okay. Not found EQW. Well, it's there. Okay, not found UID. Well, we all know where UID is. Okay. Now this should go away now, right? Hold up. Let's go like this. Second. Okay. Magnolia could not find encoder type class for reusable implementation user ID and parameter ID. So yeah, we also need the encoder over here, right? Yeah. No, is it not like that? You're still not happy? And parameter. Okay, so username. Oh man, see, like this is exactly the issue. Like this is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Okay, so now we can also have like the encoder over here. It should be happy, except for the fact that it's no, like this is also private, and the same thing over here. Really? Okay, this is getting so nasty. Okay, everybody's happy. Missing implementation for what? This is probably like because of the name collisions now, right? Yeah. So this is exactly the problem, because now we need to disambiguate them somehow. Okay, we're still kind of hacking, so let's just go like this. Users dot I believe this is how you do this in Scala too, like that. Yeah, okay. So now this means that it's like super annoying, so we can go like this. Okay, and over here as well, and here as well. Let's just go like everywhere like this, and like that, and like that, like that, and like. Okay, cool. So now it like sort of compiles, and now we can go like this, and now we can do this madness of converting this user, which is like the domain user, into like that user, because that user has an encoder. So we're going to like remove all of this nonsense after we finish learning about Magnolia and Derivo, which is going to be like 5 minutes from now. But at least like right now, I want to kind of like make it work. So well, actually, we're gonna go like this, right? So we're just gonna say no object user, and we're gonna put like a from in there, from like user, which is a domain user. And like this is something where Chimney shines, and we're still in Scala 2, so we actually could go ahead and use Chimney. We're gonna see if we can, if the GitHub Copilot is going to help. It does help like a little bit, but over here we need to do the same thing, right? So we need to do like user id.from, which is super annoying, but make it work first, and then make it beautiful and performant and whatever. So def from ooh, that's nice. Is this what I want? Almost, right? Finish this for me. Yeah. Nice. So is a little bit helpful. Okay, this one should be name, right? And so object user name. Okay, from, and this is going to be, yeah, exactly. Oh, Copilot is helpful a little bit. All right, and so now this thing kind of works, right? So if we go over here and we go like user dot from domain user, then like sjson no spaces and expires in. Do we need to do dot value? Did we do dot value? Interesting. We didn't do dot value. Why do we have to do dot value over here? Okay, so let's have a look at this. Oh, because it wants a finite duration. Okay, yeah. So we changed a little bit. Whatever. It's interesting that the Copilot suggested this. So yeah. All right, and the other one was like this. So let's see if that one works. So it's like this, right? Okay, so this was what is it called? Username. Why did I not call it username? I really don't want to introduce a bug right now. Let's go and double check. So he was doing like username.show. So it was a username. Did I change it so much? Did I change it so much that I was doing like user.name? I really wanted to avoid this. Expires in. Expires in .value, and this is a token, and value show is not a member of username. A show was supposed to be fine, right? Like username. No, we have a show. So that's probably a syntax thing, right? Import cats syntax all. Yeah. Okay, so I need to make sure that we're not like breaking anything here. Like technically it doesn't really matter because we're not interested like in in running this thing because we didn't even make it like we didn't even manage to run it in the very first video. You know, if you remember, we were like messing around with like the tokens, and so I'm not like super careful about like introducing bugs because that's not what it's about. But on the other hand, like if I change too much, then how good of a comparison is it? So I would really like to go right now and make sure that over here, thank you, man. I'm really glad that you feel that way. Okay, so this is like this user here, and it just has a username. Okay, so and we're doing like a username.show. I wonder what did I do that changed the whole course of history. So I did this, right? So and I passed in the same. Are we even looking at the right place? Okay, hold on. And there's an easier way to find this. Right. So I want to go to the declaration, and now I want to see where it's called, and it's called in the boundary over here. Okay. So we have a user with password, which is being called over here. And over here we have like, it says username. Why does it say username? Yeah, so we have a username and we have a user with password. Like this bothers me a lot. It bothers me that we have both because inside of user with password, we already have the name. Like, why do we need both? We don't need both. So let's remove this one. I'm not even sure if we need. We'll see. This is where like it would be like good to have tests. Come on. Value username. Is it just name? I am like almost 100% sure that we're going to introduce a bug like this. Like I remember like initially when I was reading this code, I was like, why? Like the goal of this thing is that, right? So we can, we're caching the name of the user and we're caching the token. Okay, so this is the like the keys, right? So it's either like I give you the token and we can look up the user, or I give you the username and you give me the token. So the user that comes back is like the actual user, which is like this case class of well, ID and username, right? But sometimes we're doing this here, right? Where we're doing like user with password as JSON on no spaces. So like this bothers me on so many levels, right? Because like it's the same key, right? Here. Sometimes we're setting this key, you know, token here. Like maybe this is already a bug. Like I haven't played with Redis, but like you shouldn't be able to have different values for the same key, should you? So like this is the same as like this line, right? But these two are slightly different. Like this thing is an ID and name. This one is name and password. Yeah, so let's assume that this is a bug. And again, it doesn't really matter. Like we're more concerned with compilation. But it would have been nice to like do it properly. In any case, let's actually go back to the boundary and make sure that we are, yeah, something like this, right? Whatever. I haven't even decided yet if we're going to rewrite the tests. I think I won't, because it just takes so much time, like this whole thing. So it doesn't really matter if this thing even runs in the end. Okay, so this is fine. This is fine, which means we can go back to, by the way, do we need this thing? Don't need this thing. Cool. Just out of curiosity, this one we probably need, right? Yeah. Okay, so Redis implementation. Okay, so we only need to get the token and we need to delete the token. Okay, like I can't wait to remove all of the nonsense. Okay, get token from Redis. So this should be simple, right? So where see, like, I don't like the fact that I'm changing it so much, right? Because now I need to go up. I need to see where we're calling it. Obviously, in the gate, which is just a facade. Oh, okay. So it's that. Okay. So get token from Redis is here. So now I know where to look, which is here. Redis.get. Okay, so that's all he did. Username.show. Okay. Cool. So we can do this. Redis.get username.show. Oh wow, did you guys see that? Wow, look, found option of string, required f of option of JWT token, and it suggests like this thing, which is so close to being correct that I'm gonna take it. So this is what f of option of string, and okay, so it basically tells us, hey, you need a functor. What? That's on tab functor. Okay. 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 Found JWT token type required string to JWT token. Oh, okay. So this does not need to be map, and this should be just like that. Okay. Hold up. This is what? This is an option of string. Can we not do this? We can. Okay. And so we could also do nested map JWT token value less parens, so it's better, even though like technically this performs less good. Something is wrong. Usually when you do nested, it, oh yeah, the functor is enough. Okay. I was about to say that it complains that we don't have a monad, but for nested all we need is a functor, which we don't see here. Why do we not see this here? I thought we would see it here somewhere. Anyhow, so all we need is to delete and then remove like all of that crap. Okay, so let's do the same trick. We go up, we see where it's used, go to the boundary, and it's when we log out. Okay, so now I know that I go here and I say, okay. Oh, so now we need to do like 2 of these things. Okay, so we just go like this and we go back and we do like that. And that's just gonna work almost. This should have worked. Did we not do anything for this guy? Oh, we didn't. Okay, so let's go and so just gonna steal it. Equality is probably not gonna hurt. This one. Yeah, there we go. All right, everybody's happy. And over here, happy as well. What? Why does this one complain now? This is interesting. I'm gonna leave it until I fix this. Value blah is not a member of f of long. I forgot which import I need for that. Like, do we need an applicative? Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So this is like that now. Deleting both of them. I'm not sure how happy I am about this dot void. Like, this deletion gives long. It's so weird to like read it like this, you know, like in my head it's like that. Yeah, that's what I thought in the beginning. You just realize that at some point you almost never need them. Like where would you use a for comprehension here, right? There's not even a single flat map in here, right? I mean, like, this is the only thing that sort of like smells like it. Like, where, like, let's go for example into the boundary, right? Like here, map again, map. Like, why would you use a for comprehension? Okay, here, look, for comprehension. Happy? Yeah, so essentially, for comprehensions, I actually have a video about this called Formidable Comprehensions. And I explain exactly how they desugar to, you know, flat maps and stuff. And it desugars really, really terribly. In fact, this is why, at least for Scala 2, and I believe we have this as well, I'm sure that Gabriel included it here, like this Beta Monetic 4. It's a plugin for which changes the desugaring of the for comprehension by removing a couple of unnecessary things. So, like, I believe the general consensus is that it's not always obvious what exactly a for comprehension desugars to. I mean, obviously it's a bunch of flat maps, right? But there's like caveats with, you know, if you include like a pattern match in there, you know, that like stuff will be filtered out and it might like throw an exception and stuff. So very often it's not that much cumbersome to actually write it out. And so I always like write it out first, and then when I see, okay, it's just a bunch of flat maps, then I convert it into full comprehension. And in general, I'm trying to like avoid infix notation. So I don't like this thing, which basically says, okay, like delete this one first, then kind of delete this one. We also could delete them like in parallel. But like, I find that like something like this, just like that, reads better. Why doesn't compile? Oh yeah, we need Volpe. So like something like this reads better, and like technically we don't even need a monad now, right? Do we? I don't think we do. Why would we need a monad? Yeah, we only need a semi-grupal. semi-groupal. I don't remember if it extends to functor or not. Probably not. Yeah, so see, like we even, like, you know, if you care about like effect tracking and stuff, we even like got away with less stuff. It has nothing to do with full comprehensions, but like, you know, we could even like do this in parallel. You know, we could go like par-tupled. That would bring in like a non-empty parallel as well. Non-empty parallel. But that's like, so it's kind of funny, isn't it? Like, you know, like there's like these three problems in programming. You know, we have naming things, cache invalidation, and off by one errors, right? No, this is not how the joke goes. It's like only two problems, right? And then if you include off by one errors, it implies the off by one error, right? And so now we have a cache, which is Redis, and you know, we're bringing like, so cache, you know, cache invalidation, and we're just mixing it with asynchronous programming, because like, why not, you know? But again, we're not super interested in running or, you know, whatever. In fact, I probably should revert it, because I don't know, technically the more constraints we have, the longer it will take to compile. But whatever, I don't really care. Like, see, the thing is that, like, so in the end, I'm actually super worried about the fact that we're actually gonna like try to compile it, and it will save us only like 10 seconds or something. And the reason is that this architecture, right, which by the way, we should have a glance at it real quick again, like this whole diamond thing. So if we go like this, right, and we just added red, so we need to go and do that one. Okay, so here, this one, whoa, too much, right? So the red disappeared now. Okay, so like it only like buys you things if you have a lot of boxes, but also if you have a bunch of stuff in those boxes, right? Like in a small application, you end up having like more boxes than code, you know? So now we have like 6 boxes, but there's like one file in them, right? So let's say it takes like 6 seconds to compile those 6 files in sequence. If you compile them in parallel, it is not gonna like convert to 1 second, right? Because it depends on, you know, what my computer is doing. I have 6 cores, which makes it 12 threads. This is not on there. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 12. So, right, and we already have like 6 things that compile in parallel. If we keep going on like this, and we're gonna have like more than 12 boxes, then you get where I'm going with this. Also, like I'm on a laptop and I'm streaming, so I'm really terrified of something like thermal throttling. Anyhow, so well, we have the Redis implementation over here, and we have a couple of like unused things. Not anti-parallel for sure extends the functor, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Interesting. Okay. All right. So we're kind of like done with this thing. We will obviously like need to like work on that, and we can remove this. But this means that we're let's commit it out for now. I'm sure that we're gonna need it at some point. Okay. So we don't need the like this, like that, like that. Okay. So. Okay, let's sort this thing. Okay, I don't like. Okay, so this is a problem, right? Like to do remove that, and I wanted to do something else. Oh yeah, we also another to do is like remove the dependency on JSON. This is actually an interesting thing. Like, how can you remove the dependency on JSON, right? Because like you don't want to put it in the core, and you also don't want to put it here. And so the answer is that we're gonna have like a separate box, and the core will have to like orchestrate this thing, right? So it will just So let's go like this. So over here, like this method call, right? So it just goes like set user in Redis and gives it like this type. Okay. So instead, what we're gonna have is this type, right? And we're gonna say like gate dot, I don't know, convert to JSON or some stuff like this, right? And we're gonna give it like this, and then like this type is gonna go over here, right? Like here. Okay, so this is what we're gonna have like in the very end. But for now, let's do this. And also, we should like this thing is already like I don't want to say over engineered, but it's engineered to, it's engineered enough, So I'm sure that some of you are thinking like this is like too crazy, right? So now instead of like doing like as JSON, we're gonna have to like go through some hoops. Well, if you do that, then it's like one of those things like, what if one day we want to replace the JSON library, And it's actually happening, like Travis Brown stepped away from the Scala community. And sure, the top level ecosystem is maintaining like Cersei and cats and all that stuff. But usually like when the lead maintainer walks away, then slowly the projects are going to be, they will be maintained. Like, don't get me wrong, like none of this stuff is dying, but it's just not going to be like thriving as it used to. It happened with a bunch of projects. And so yeah, and there's a bunch of JSON libraries out there, so there's enough to choose from. And so it would be kind of cool if if one day you switch to another JSON library and all you need to change is in this one box, right? Because right now, like all JSON libraries, they come with their own like decoders and coders. They come with their own like slightly different DSLs, even though it should be like, I have this thing converted to JSON, I have this thing converted back from JSON, like somehow all of these DSLs look slightly different. And so you would need to go like everywhere and change it, right? So it would be really cool if something like JSON would be confined to like one box. Anyhow, so we have like one spot where we actually need to go and construct this thing, right? Which is here, right? So now we should be able to go some like, Redis implementation. Yes, this is good. Make. And so we need to give it like Redis, right? Which we will pretty much demand the same way, right? Like this. Come on, why can I not go there? Go there. Not found implementation. Okay, so we're in main, and I forgot to the build val main. Why can't I search for this? Val main. Okay, hold up. Is my search somehow like, what the hell? Where is it? Yeah, exactly here. Okay, I should probably copy it. Okay, this is like somewhere here. Yeah. Okay, so like this and like that, like this and like that and like that, and let's also like sort this thing. Well, actually, I want to have like delivery here, right? So I want to say like this is the I, and like this. Okay. And we're gonna save this, and I forgot a comma, so we're gonna save this. No, not now. I also always forget to add it to agree. This is why I couldn't find it, because of these like backticks. There's aggregate somewhere which also needs this. I'm actually gonna take all of them because I'm sure that I forgot to add stuff to aggregate at some point. Okay, we have gets fact, delivery, and like these ones. Well, paste. Okay, so the same thing over here. So this is like the util, right? So the common, this is the I, which is input, and this is the O for output. Okay, so we should be good now. Many of you guys are here. 4, nice. I'm not sure if it's the same 4 as in the beginning. Don't forget to hit the like button so that more people stumble on the stream. Thank you. Import partially failed. This is why I always do this in SBT first. let me guess. Well, let's actually see if we can see the logs. Metals logs. Really? Where? 32. Oh, no comma. Yeah. Why did we actually not see this in the dependency graph, right? Oh yeah, there we go. This arrow is missing and we just didn't pay attention. Do you see it? Like this arrow over here, like the main has to have a dependency on everything. Okay, so once it finishes importing, we're gonna regenerate the graph. Just like this. Sometimes it even updates on the fly, like automatically. Didn't though. Preview. And there we go. Like this arrow is now there. Where is it? There. This arrow. This is what we just did. Okay, and that thing is like for now is disconnected. And by the way, like in the video I said that you should build like this thing on top of this big ball of mud, right? So we could have this big ball of mud have a dependency on main. And then pretty much like over here where we're let me actually show this to you. So we need to go to the DI, right? Which like almost compiles, right? Actually, let's make it compile real quick. Remind me what I wanted to show you. You know, remind me that I wanted to show you the thing. The like how to have a dependency from big ball of mud to main, like this. Could not find a implicit value for what? Parallel. Yeah, see, we're already running into issues. Non-empty parallel, which is in cats. All right. So this is a assembled dependency graph now. So we'll try to go and like improve the implementation a little bit. Okay. But this is like pretty much done. So all of use cases will look very similar to this. Okay, so if you have a use case that doesn't touch Redis, it's not gonna have Redis. If you have a use case that doesn't touch TDP, very unlikely, but could happen. You're not gonna have that. But this is how like I assemble all of my applications, and this is just like one use case, right? We still need a place where we assemble all of use cases together, and then the main will just have one line to run this program. So what I wanted to show you a couple of seconds ago was we need to find a place where this is created. So this one, right? By the way, I didn't pay attention to this thing before. Okay, so like this thing here. Okay, so look, it's been like constructed over here under auth, but it's being used, right? So let's see if we can go like this and see where we like use the authentication. Yeah. So we are using the authentication to create like the user routes, right? And after this, we just go like this, right? We just go like routes. We can already, well, not already, right? So if we like, this is the ball of mud, right? And if we say, okay, ball of mud has a dependency on the main, which means it has a dependency on DI, right? Which explains how to construct a dependency graph. So we would already be able to go over here, and instead of this, we would say, DI and then dot, what was it? So it would be like dev inside you dot Shopee dot user or users, whatever, auth, right? And then DI and then make, right? And we would give it Postgres, which is probably like under services, right? I don't remember, right? So it would be like some like services.postgres and then services.redis. There was inside of services, but I assume it's like that stuff, right? Oh no, it's the use cases. Hold up. Programs, services. What is there? What? Same thing? Why do we have it twice? You saw this, right? Services is this thingy, and then programs also has it. It's a different one. Is it a different one? It's not the different one. It's the same one. That's weird. Anyhow, like, so we could already like do something like this, right? What happened in the end? How did this happen? Right? So this is how like my main would look like, the one that like assembles everything. So we could like, if we had this dependency, we could inject it like this, but we don't need to do this because first of all, we're not interested in running this whole thing. We're just interested in making it compile, and therefore we're just going to have our own main where we're going to, to create like all of this stuff. Okay, so we can go back like this. Let me actually drink some water. All right. In fact, do you guys have any questions? Because I think I'm going to go AFK for a bit, just like 2 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions before I go. I'll be back in like 2 minutes though. I'm just going to go to the bathroom real quick. Joe, if you're still here, the answer is yes. If you are even here. All right. Seems like no questions. So I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second. All right. So as I was gone, I remembered something. In fact, I came up with a solution, I think, for this Magnolia and Derivo stuff. The first thing that I remembered By the way, we're hearing the same playlist. Let's actually switch it up real quick. I still really like this Christmas playlist. I'm gonna go with Christmas. And I believe it's a little bit quieter than the other one. So I'm gonna increase the volume slightly again. And you let me know if it's like too much. I'm just gonna go by 1. Oh, 4. Okay. All right. So one thing I remembered to mention is this thing over here, right? So technically, like, we have like an implementation detail that does like 2 things, and some people don't like it. They say like, hey, like this is like business logic and whatever, because like if it starts like doing like too many things, then when you're writing unit tests against your boundary, you're not, you cannot test like any of that stuff. Well, first of all, you actually can test this thing, right? For example, Redis commands, it's a trait, right? So you could just like have a fake implementation of this whole thing where all of the methods would be like, was the question marks. And then you would only implement, the deletion, and then you would see that it works, right? So you'd basically say, okay, hey, does it call like this one and then that one? So you can still test it relatively easily, just not at the boundary. And the second thing, which is more important, is that, well, actually, there are 3 things. The second thing is that this thing is not some util thing that you're going to share across your entire application, right? This thing is specifically for this boundary. Like, its only purpose is to make this boundary work by implementing its gate, right? And so it's okay that the logic is like spread out through the implementations of all of these traits, right? In fact, it actually got loud again now. I need to figure this out. Actually, I already have a solution, but I don't want to use it yet because reasons. All right. Okay. So it's okay that the logic is spread out through the implementation, like, of all of these traits. Oh, thank you, man. You should have said this like 10 minutes ago. Just kidding. Yeah, so I was saying is that, like, some people object to the fact that there's like too much going on here, and you can still easily test it by mocking this thing, right? Because when you're testing the boundary now, like, this is an implementation detail, you have no idea that the boundary will be assembled like this, right? So it's one of the common concerns. So it's not some big common util, it's an implementation detail specifically for this boundary, and the boundary is just an interface to access the business logic of your application. Okay, and the last thing, and this is like super important to me, just because there's like multiple things happening here, it does not mean that this is the business logic. Like, can you imagine like sitting in a business meeting and saying, oh, first we delete the token, and then we delete the username from the cache? Like, nobody like at the business level cares about this stuff, right? So whenever you look in your boundary and you read stuff like this, it's like, okay, we're getting the config, we're either creating the user or we're raising an exception if the user already exists, probably, we should probably call it like create or raise if already exists, right? That's probably why it's thrown, right? I don't remember. Metals cannot jump into it because the implementation is an anonymous class. This really needs to be fixed. Persistence source. Yeah, so it's a unique violation, username in use. And like, this is like to me, this is almost like a business logic, and that's why I put it in either. So here, right? So it's either username in use. So create or raise if in use, right? So we're getting the config, we're creating or raising if in use, we're getting the token, we're setting it, we're caching it in Redis, right? Like we should probably rename this to like cache user in Redis or something like this. Okay, and like this is something that you could explain in the business meeting, right? So we're getting like we have a token expiration is configurable. We're creating the user, we're creating the token. So this is like pure business logic, right? And usually, like if you have like an if else, like it really is your business logic, right? This is where like here, like this is essentially an if else, right? This is where business logic goes to hide, right? Like this is what we do if the user is not found. This is what we do if the password is invalid, right? Like this is something that you will be asked in a business meeting, right? Like what is going to happen if the user is not found, right? Nobody's going to ask you, like, I mean, rarely, like somebody's going to ask you in the business meeting, well, do you delete the token first? And then, do you delete the username second, something like this. Okay, so it's not a big deal if in the implementation of one of the parts of these gates, you have multiple things going on. Just because it's multiple things does not mean that it's business logic. Okay, cool. So, we're going to equip it, right? As a reminder, this is just a git work in progress commit, which basically means like shove everything into this one commit. And I've been streaming for an hour and we still have like 50 minutes going. So we're going to try to improve this Redis implementation. And then if we manage, this would mean that we know enough about Magnolia and Derivo that we can also go to the config and also remove this similar nonsense that we did over there. Right, we did this, right? Okay, so I had a phenomenal idea to use a feature in Metals that I have never used. So let's see if it actually works. So Metals can like show like the decompiled version of something, because here's the thing, like these like macros, they all pretty much generate a companion object and they just throw a bunch of implicits into this companion object. So I want to see that, right? So do I need semantic DB? No. Okay, so we need show, right? Okay, show. And decompiled was CFR. I don't know what CFR is. Tasty. Let's try that one. That did not go as planned. Metals, show. Okay, oh, interesting. So I want to see, well, something like, well, actually we're in the wrong place, but for now, let's go do like class user. No, object user. Yeah, something like this. Okay, something is happening. All right. Construct other, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, maybe this one could work. I don't know what CFR is. Maybe this one could work. So what I want to do is I want to go to domain user, right? So this one. No, actually not this one. I want to find like the domain user over here. Right, like this one. I want to see how like this decoder and encoder gets in there. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this thing here. So metals show. So we did this thing, right? And it's going to say, well, do you want the class okay, well, class user. Okay, something is happening. All right. Okay, so this is Java stuff. So I guess we're looking for static something, right? Public static class users dot use. Let me see. Reconnection successful. What happened? Were you here? Did you see this thing? Like OBS said, like, hey, I'm disconnecting, and hey, I'm reconnecting. Are you still here? It's still all good? Raise your hand if you're alive. I need someone to say that you're still here. It seems like you are, so. Can someone confirm that we're still good? Oh, I forgot to send this thing. Damn it. You are not writing, which concerns me. Let's go like this. All right, cool. So we're still, okay, we're all good. It's all good. By the way, you can always go to like youtube.devinsider.com and then go like live, and then you should see the stream. And then go like if I'm streaming, and otherwise like it's just gonna like redirect to the channel. Right. So it's either like youtube.com/devinsider and then /live. Like you can do this with any channel, right? So you go to the channel page and do like /live, and if this person is live, then you're gonna see the stream. All right. So we were looking for this static class. This kind of decompilation is probably not what we need. So let's try this again. So let's try something else. Show metals. Show decompile with Java P. Actually, tasty would be like what I want. What is this thing? Hold on. It's some file. Doesn't exist. Okay, so it looks like a bug. Okay. So let's try this again. Metals. Show. Let's go like this. Class user. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's too much. All right, let's try. Show. Let's try semantic DB. Like this could be useful. So now it shows like everything, parameters, macro, blah, blah, blah. Let's try to search for something like Datavel. Okay, so these are like the currencies. All right. I don't know what I'm doing here. So, what I want to do is I want to go something like this, right? So this is Gabriel's code, okay? Sorry, like this, right? So I want to go like this, right? And then have something like implicit val decoder, and then like the implementation, and then I would like remove this thing, okay? And then it's gonna work, okay? So let me try to do something like, okay, like there was Circe Magnolia, and we want like the decoder, and well, instance seems like what we need. Instance of, hold up. Oh, okay, so this is already more useful. So derived Magnolia decoder. So this is what we probably need. New type derivation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so if we just go like instance, then we're gonna get a decoder, right? So we should be able to go like this, right? So if we can just go like this, decoder of user, right? Then, hold on, how was it called? Yeah, so decoder.instance, right? So this is what the macro is doing, right? We'll, this is the, is it the Circe? It's Circe decoder, right? Yeah, so this thing is like in, yeah, so this is what we need, okay? We just said we need this was the decoder, was the encoder actually, right? So this is the decoder, and we would like remove that, and that would be like the encoder, and the same thing over here, and the same thing over here, right? And we can validate this, right? Really, did he not call it instance? It is instance. Oh, okay, hold on. I removed something. That was stupid. Hold up. So how was it in the beginning? Decoder, encoder, show, right? So if we do an encoder, then we go like this. No. Okay, like this. Right? Okay, so we're using the macro annotation to derive the decoder, but we're doing the encoder manually. Okay, and we can verify that we didn't do anything weird just by doing a test compile, right? Because Gabriel's code is still using it, right? And so it still should compile. Ideally, we would also do a clean, but we're just gonna like trust this thing. Yeah, great. So this means that I could just take this thing, okay, and I can go in our horrible Redis implementation, and I'm just gonna have like a thingy over here, right? And it's gonna be a private implicit dev encoder of like Cersei, and that's it. Okay. Yeah. So this is like for the domain user. Okay. The instance is not a member. Okay, hold up. Magnolia could not find type class for type user ID. Yeah, perfect. So this is exactly what I wanted, right? Because now we're gonna have like I don't know, A, B for like user ID, right? And the last one is username, right? Okay, username. Okay, can infer type class for type username. Why not? Okay. It should have been able to do this. Do we have some other import thingy there? Right, so we have decoder, we have show. Yeah, so we're doing the same thing, right? Decoder, encoder. Like, did I need, like, we don't need anything, right? Derivation of decoder, new, okay, so there's a new type. No, it should have done everything. Customizable even, yeah. Okay, so it's probably some other import thingy. Let's import something like this. How about that? Okay. So the problem is that it doesn't tell us why. Could not infer semi-auto type class for type user ID. And I wonder why not. It can't even go there. Right. So it already has equality show and UUID. It has everything, right? Maybe that one. I'm just gonna like grab all of this stuff. Like right now, I'm like guessing why it cannot do this, right? And before we go, read the documentation, we're just gonna do this. By the way, like sometimes like with macros, like these imports, they actually need to be like at the top level. So we're just gonna like throw a bunch of imports until something compiles. So hold on, first of all, we're inside of an object, okay? So we're not doing like a top level definition thingy or something. Yeah, we're not. Okay. Let's also make them lazy. That's not gonna fix it, but just because I don't want to forget. Okay, so let's start with one of them. So user ID is probably a UUID. Let's start with username. It should be simpler. Okay. All right, so delegate will do this. Expression, delegation. Reading macros is never fun. Addition, new, tree, delegation I could not find. Delegating annotation, that's not what it is. Do you guys think that is because we don't have something in our build? Oh look, we also have an arrow here. Why do we have it over there? What happened that we started having this? Okay, please don't tell me that this is just some metals thing. Okay, it's not. What happened? Why did it stop finding the encoder for this user? Because this worked before, right? I think it stopped working when we imported like too many things. We have syntax. Really, like what happened? Like this thing worked before. Now we removed this part. Did I remove like too much or something? Well, this is exactly why I do like work in progress, so that I can see like what the hell I did. Right, like over here, there was nothing special. Imported source. So we can actually like throw this one out here. So we're going back like this. Okay. So like this is for sure not the reason, right? Yeah, it's not the reason. Okay, so one of these imports ruined our entire life. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna like copy these because I don't want to type, and I'm gonna like throw everything out. And so now it should compile, right? Okay, so now it compiles, but as soon as I have like this, right, even if it's commented out, no. Okay, so let's go like this. Okay, so at least it doesn't break that thing. Okay, so this is where we were. Could not find coder. Okay, so, and we went like this. Sourcey. Right, we can pretty much also go with an underscore. Okay. Like with my eyes, I'm always like looking at here, and I'm waiting until we have like a red line over there. Okay, and so now we're back at Magnolia could not infer blah blah blah. Semi-auto type class for username. So like the issue is like for sure that it's like this new what's it called? New class, new tag, whatever, new type, like that thing. So let's try with something closer. So let's say that, you know, instead of this, right, we're just gonna go like that, right? So now we don't have an encoder. Okay, and now we cannot derive that one. And so, sup Python man. So what if we try like this? Like can it do that? It cannot. So is it because it's a new type? Yes, it is, right? So this is why, right? So at least like this thing compiles now. Okay, and over here it still says this is interesting, right? Because now, okay, well now the companion object exists. So let's grab this one and put him over there. No, it's the same one. It's the same one. It's gonna take some time to rewrite it, which is far away from my initial estimation of 5 days. 5 days times 2 hours, like 10 hours. Yeah. So what we're trying to do right now is that like we got this thing to compile, but we got it to compile like in an ugly way, where we essentially recreated the entire tree of the data structures just because the only way I knew how to generate the type classes for them was these macros. And so now I'm trying like to throw them out and derive the instances for the domain objects instead. And we're failing like left and right. Okay, so so probably we don't even need that. Okay, like this is so weird because now we have this one. Oh, it's username. It should have been user ID. Oh, we were playing with this one. You distracted me, man. All right, so I need to go like this now, right? So we're breaking everything. Okay, so why? Oh yeah, because now it's private, right? Like this. Okay, so so this shows us that the issue was the new type. Yeah, exactly. Glorious refactoring. Okay. Yeah, so as soon as it's a new type, Magnolia says, I can't do that. And this is probably why we need like the Derivo stuff. Okay. Because like this is Derivo resourcing Magnolia encoder, blah, 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 blah. Like maybe it has, what else does it have? Well, it also has like new type thing. It gives a new type representation of the encoder. Maybe we need that thing as well. So maybe we need the but we also need what was the thing? New type representation, which is a new type representation of encoder of user ID, probably like something like that. Representation. Okay, hold up. Let me jump into new types. So new type representation of blah. And then what? made a video about this long time ago, but I don't remember any of that stuff. Okay, so it seems like the instance will do like exactly the same thing for us. Encoder and user ID. Okay, so it's probably like this. Type it wrong again. New type representation. Yes. Okay. So the fact that we have this thing seems not to help at all. So how do we do this then, right? Like as soon as it's a new type, we can't do this stuff. Okay. Okay, people. The time has come. We still have 20 minutes. The time has come to read the documentation. So, Scala Derival. All right. So, derive encoder generates encoder for okay. We don't need that. Okay, like this is actually like what I was trying to like find. Like I remember that we saw this last time. What is this like QUUX thing? Wow. Okay. Derive. So we have this, right? It's exactly what we did. Okay, like cats, taglet, blah blah blah. There's for sure. Yeah, Cersei and Magnolia, so. Hold on, is this the one that we have? So it's not just Deriva Magnolia, it's Deriva Cersei Magnolia. Is this the one that we have? Cersei Magnolia, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oops, I forgot to annotate this one with Scala so we don't have syntax highlighting. Has any of you guys used this thing? Yeah, like this is nice. Yeah. Now, I want to keep them as new types. I don't want to remove that stuff. Like the only thing that like bothers me a little bit is that like user ID doesn't have anything to do with with Cersei. But we are generating the Cersei encoder, so it should be fine. Like, what do we need to do? Well, we can go into new type, right? Because I don't remember what it does, right? I mean, I don't remember how it does what it does. Yeah. Okay, so let's make sure that it's not because we put it in the companion object. Right, so let's go like this, and without new type it's fine. With new type it's not fine. Okay, so it's not because the companion object is already generated. This is okay. I have no idea. Instance is like the only thing that we can do. Well, we can also like help out with the time. I think that it's gonna do anything. Yeah. What goes in there actually? User ID or no? It's just the it's just the user ID. But it's not gonna do. It's not gonna help, right? Yeah. It already knew the type. So none of you have used this. So what we're trying to do is trying to derive encoder without an annotation for a new type. And we have it in the build, right? Let's make that thing clear. We have it in the build. We have the Gabriel Cersei thing in the build. Yeah. Was there some import over here? There's like no, it can't be this, it can't be that. Man. So there's also Gabriel Cersei, but it's like the same thing, it's just a different import. That's good. Like sometimes macros is weird. Sometimes just like importing this thing somehow helps. So like that. Yeah. Oh, we already have it. Okay, we don't need that one either. So that didn't help. So like this, it's fine. Like this, it's not fine because it's only for new types. Like that, it's still not fine because now it's a new type. Oh, man. Okay, let's Google this stuff. Okay, so Magnolia, Derival, new type without annotation. So like this is where when it was like added a couple of years ago. Small. Oh, look at that. Look at this guy. Oh, it was him who added that thing. Okay, who created the issue. Okay. Okay. So we can go and just look at the code. Okay, maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the issue. Let's double check that. So this thing depends on core, and core has, it has, wait, what? Yeah, it has derivative core and it has derivative cats. We probably need something else. Hold up. There's core cat Cersei. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. So if it worked before, it should work now as well. Let's check this one real quick. Yeah. Oh, this is so painful with macros like this stuff. Just like reorder them. Like, I don't think that it's gonna help us here, but still annoying because we even tried like this, right? And it didn't help. So yeah, none of it helps. Anyway, so this one is solved. So this is the original PR. So I kind of want to see how they're like what they needed to change to make this work. Oh my god, annoying. Okay, so there's a new type derivation. So they added new type derivation everywhere. Okay, so this is Cersei derivation. We have Cersei Magnolia derivation, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really help us. Because that's what happens when we go in there, right? Like if we go into encoder, we see this thing, right? This new type derivation. and it's delegating to Magnolia derivation encoder, derive Magnolia encoder. And what's weird is that in the beginning, when we try to like randomly add imports, we couldn't figure out, like, it somehow caused something else not to compile. This is so weird. Well, if it's delegating to this, why don't we just try that? Right, like instead of this. Well, because what? Because Magnolia now doesn't understand new types? Well, that makes more sense than what we had before. So I guess like this is somehow the problem. Maybe we can look at the documentation for new type. Yeah, I remember. And an object, blah, blah, blah. Must be defined. Yeah, I remember. Oh, we are in an object. There's also a new subtype, but we don't need that. Oh, I remember this deriving thing. Maybe we can try that. Maybe we can try that. Hold up. Encoder refuser ID dot deriving. It's not a member of blah. Okay, because we're not in the companion object. Okay, so let's move down there. Okay, so this is just deriving. Okay, so it's like this. DFD, again, like this. This is more interesting. Damn it. Can we do user ID? Yes. Okay, so not exactly how we were hoping it would go down. No. What? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's correct. Okay, like this. Okay, cool. So this means that, yeah, okay. This is perfect timing. Okay, so we can remove this, right? And we can just go into domain.user.deriving like this, right? Domain user deriving, and domain.userid.deriving, and domain.username.deriving like this, and throw this. Okay, yeah, so this was one too much, right? Like, whoa, no, hold up. Like that. What the hell did I do? Like this, and like that, and like that, and like that. Oh, like this, like that, like that. This is user name. I know it's super full, but yeah, so ambiguous, blah, blah, blah. So we can remove this, we can add that. Okay, cool. So what essentially happened now is that we managed to derive like all of these encoders that we needed, right? So like that. Okay, so we have the encoders for the domain objects, which means we don't need like any of that crap now. We just like it out, and we don't need to do this, right? So we can just go like this, and we can change it to user, and it's just gonna work because we have the encoder. Exactly. So we can throw all of this out. How perfect. Okay. So now it says like, it's a little bit weird because it says like, hey, you're not using this encoder and blah, blah, blah. And I totally am, because now this one is not going to compile. Okay. So let's go like this, and let's go like that. And so now they don't need to be private. And so we don't get this weird warning. I thought we wouldn't get this weird warning. What? Local val B and lazy val A is never. Really? Okay. So happy now? Okay, great. Oh my god. I don't care. Annotation, no warn. And category is unused. There you go. Go back. So this thing works, which means that we don't need this weird, well, first of all, get rid of that. Okay, so it's like this. And now we don't need this thing. And so everywhere we say domain dot, right, we can just go and change next. That's not what I wanted. I want it like this. I always forget how to do this. So find domain dot, change, go next. I should have been like delete, go next, right? Like this, like this, like that, like that, like that. Just like go away. All of this stuff, go away. So there we go, people. So we don't need to like create these weird objects and like map them back and forth just for the instances. So cumbersome. It took some time to find. But in the end, we found it. So I'm very happy about it. Nice. And it's been exactly 2 hours. Like, so so we whip this thing. So we're gonna unwhip. Okay. So diff. Okay. So this is what we did. Like a couple of renames. Blah blah blah. Did a couple of this, yeah. So we fixed it to do, yeah. We implemented Redis. Yes. Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy about the progress that we did today. So this is not going to be day 6, right? So we're just going to go like day 6, and we're going to push it, and we're going to have a look at it. Yeah, tutorial. Yeah, it kind of comes with the territory, you know, like this crash course that I did. It has like so many views that like eventually like, people stumble on it that are just not, well, not the target audience, right? Yeah, so the main thing that we did today is like that thing, right? And like this thing like took forever. And we should also figure out like how to do this for the config, right? We'll do this tomorrow. Remember, because we still did the same like weird thing for the config, right? So we have here that thing, right? Like I didn't know how to do this, how to derive this config decoder thingy, and so we did the same horror show, okay, which is unnecessary. And because we have like more types now, it's going to take longer to compile, and like the whole purpose of this thing is to optimize for faster build time. All right, so let's see how many of you guys are here, and if you guys have any questions, ask them now. Let's see. It says that there's only one of you left. 2. Yeah, like I don't know how this works with the delay. Like my internet here, like I only have like 10 Mbit upload, but it should be fine. And like the way it's configured, you don't see this right now, but like here, like it's configured to like ultra low latency, which means that the latency should be like just a couple of seconds maximum. But somehow I feel like the longer I stream, the higher the chances that we're gonna get like a desync. Like if you see over here, like I'm using only 6 Mbit of my 10, so it should be fine. But somehow, for some reason, it says excellent connection, so it should be fine. But for some reason, I sometimes have a feeling that there's a larger desync. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go because it's getting late and I'm tired, and you don't have any more questions anyway. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go again. So I'm gonna try to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at least this week. You know, not I'm not gonna be able to do this consistently. Say number 7. Or do you mean you want me to like count and stuff? Just gotta like count seconds after I say 7. Yeah, sure thing, man. Wow. Okay, so do me a favor, type the number 7 again when you hear this. Whoa, it's like 33 seconds delay. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, so I'm moving to a new place next week, and so I have a much better internet there. Hopefully it's an internet issue, but it shouldn't be, right? I'm never sending like more than my 10, so I don't know. Anyway, I have to go. See you on Wednesday if everything goes according to plan, because maybe I won't stream because it's live, right? So anyhow, I'm blabbering at this point anyway. So peace.